Okay, so I'm going to just keep on talking. Is that okay, Greg?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to ask everyone a couple of quick questions. Do they believe relationships are important to their success? So I'm going to ask you a series of rapid-fire questions, and all you got to do is answer yes or no to the questions, and then add up how many yeses are you getting. So number one, how many of you stay in touch with your clients, friends, influencers, just to see how they're doing and not to sell them anything? So if you get a yes, put a point. If not, no. How many of you believe you can provide value to anyone you come in contact with? Again, it's a simple yes or no answer. Third question, do you have a permission-based newsletter? So, can you hit a button and send out a newsletter to hundreds or thousands of people all at one time? How many of you have a strategic connection plan for your 100 most important relationships? Again, simple yes or no answers. How many of you know the top 20% of your clients or strategic partners that provide value for 80% of your future opportunities? Next question. How many of you can call your friends, or I should say call your friends or clients, or send them cards or gifts on their birthdays, anniversaries, and special occasions? Next questions. When you go to an event, how many of you research the speakers of the events in advance and reach out to them in advance? Next question. How many of you record the notes of your conversations with your clients and partners either in a smartphone or a CRM system so you get smarter every single time you have a conversation with someone? How many of you have a system where you systematically reach out and create value for your most valued relationships in your network? And the final two questions are, how many of you leverage trigger events to reach out to add value to busy and influential people? A trigger event could be a birthday, it could be an anniversary, it could be someone's graduation, it could be a divorce, it could be a death. A business thing could be someone just became the top investment banker in their firm. Someone just got Entrepreneur of the Year. Someone just got their first round of financing. They got a promotion. Those are business trigger events. And last question, do you know what the 3 most important goals are for your 100 most valuable relationships? These could be personal or business. So,
okay,
Greg,
so Larry, real quick, Larry. So your audio is coming through perfectly now. So that was a great idea, turning the video off. Now, what was the total number of the questions there? Because I was doing it too, but I think I missed one. What was the total number?
Oh, okay. So that was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 questions. Have them enter into the chat box how many yeses that they got.
Okay, yeah, enter into the chat box how many yeses you got. I got, I want to say 6, but there could have been a 5.5 maybe, because see, part of it is like a yes/no. It's like I'm not doing it right. And again, but I want you to, while we're waiting for them to come through with their answers, let me ask you this quick question. So I want you to define, I know that you introduced me to the guy that wrote the book about eating your lunch. Where is it? Sitting right here on my thing. Where is it? Yeah, Keith Ferrazzi. Yeah. What was the name of his book?
Never Eat Alone.
Never Eat Alone. So how do you define influencers? Because again, guys like you and I are speaking, we're traveling, we have thousands of people on Facebook. How do you define who it is? Because you obviously can't keep up with everybody.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I want everyone, and they can write this down, it's all relative to your important goals, okay? So let me just use me as an example, and then they can have their own goals, okay? So I have a book coming out next year. I want to make it one of the best-selling books of the year. I have specific people that are influencers that are important to me that would help influence people buying books, okay? I have a consulting firm, right? We have certain goals when I speak, consult, or coach, right? So there's other people that would be relative important to me with those specific goals. I'm going to be raising about $50 to $100 million in the next, well, I'll probably raise 25 to 50 million over the next 12 months for my anti-aging med spa cosmetic surgery company. I realize the relationships I need to influence in that bucket are going to be different than the people I need to influence probably to help my book become a bestseller. Probably need to go deal with private equity, probably need to deal with high net worth individuals, need to deal with family offices, down the road, knowing the right investment bankers. Those are all important relationships. So as it relates to everyone on this call, they need to ask themselves, what are their top 3 goals, or what's their most important goal? And from there, they could then categorize who are the relationships. In many cases, it's their most valuable clients. In many cases, it could be people in the media. In other cases, it might be who are strategic partners, who are referral partners that could get them to achieve their goal quicker, faster, better. So that is really, listen, you cannot stay in touch. You cannot invest equally in every relationship. I am a big believer, though, in being kind and generous to everyone you come in contact with. You have a newsletter so you can reach out to the masses or more people with your ideas and educational content. But Greg, I'm doing this webinar for you, Delray, and we're not charging you, right? But if it was a major corporation, I would probably be charging a pretty healthy fee. But you're someone that's part of my most valuable relationships that I want to serve, support, and help. And therefore, I'm making a relationship deposit today by being on this live stream and adding some value to the people listening and who are chiming in live or listening on replay.
No, I love it so much, and we have Robin with a 4 to 5, Bill with a 3, Kathy with a 7, awesome, Paul 5, a 2, there's a 3, there's a 4, there's a 2, so it's all over the board. Okay, Delray, I don't see your score up there.
Oh, I put it up there. I got a 4. It's pretty low. I'm looking at the score now. I got a lot of improvement.
I just want to share, Greg and Delray, I want to share a quick example. I'm going to pull the guy's, you know what, I'll just share his name. It doesn't matter. So, maybe I won't tell his name. He is a very famous author, 10 times New York Times best-selling author. He has been in the personal finance space for a long time. He's been on Oprah Winfrey. He's been on CNBC. You name it. He's on the Today Show pretty regularly. Anyway, when I was last with him, okay, I put him in touch with a gentleman that used to be a member of the Forbes 400 who had built 3 different almost billion-dollar businesses in the financial services, okay? When this one individual walked away to go to the restroom, I asked this famous author influencer, I said, hey, when is the last time you spoke with the senior leadership and the CEO of the bank that spent $60 million on leveraging your brand to acquire more clients? And all he said to me was guilty, meaning guilty. He had not been in touch with these people who I would consider a very valuable, connection for him. And like I said, they spent $60 million on his brand, on his books, on his intellectual property to help the bank acquire more clients. All I'm saying, we all do this within varying degrees. The key thing is, how do you improve daily, every single day, by adding more value to your most valuable relationships? So Greg and Delray, would it be okay if I shared one simple strategy that everyone on this call could do today, and by the time your event hits, I guarantee you it will give each one of them massive momentum? Would that be okay?
No, I love that, Larry. And I don't know if you do that now, but I got one question I'd like to answer either now or before you give us that, because we all want that for sure. And that is the end result. Like the end result of doing that as a lifestyle, as a habit, is what?
Well, at the end of the day, if you think about whatever someone wants, some people want to get their kids in a private school. They want to get their kids into the college of choice. And on a business standpoint, it might be raising more money. It might be having more sales. It might be finding the right employee to take their company to the next level. It might be getting the next strategic partner on board. It might be getting into the media. But whatever, everyone has different goals and needs. All I'm saying is, it's kind of like a knife through butter. It gets easier over time. And so it's just, you build up relationship capital, connection currency in the proverbial relationship bank account. It's just like having money. It really is. And then you turn that relationship capital and connection currency into money based on what your goals and objectives are. I know for me personally, things just get easier in terms of if I need a connection to someone, if I need a referral to someone, if I want to get access to a major media publisher, if I want to, talk to CNBC or Bloomberg or the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal. I'll give you a perfect example. 3 weeks ago, I did a speech, at a publishing conference. I shared the same principles I'm sharing now. The next day, I did a little breakout session. I was going to my hotel room, and I meet this gentleman. His name is Jeffrey James. And I said, Jeffrey, are you going to the Black Tie Awards function this evening? And he said, no. And I said, why? He goes, I'm not dressed properly. I don't have a black tie, I don't have a tuxedo, and I don't have a suit. I'm like, well, don't let that stop you. I'm like, you should go anyway. He's like, I don't think I'm going to go. And I'm like, I'll tell you what, why don't you come to my room? I will give you a sports coat, a shirt, and a tie, and now you can go to the event. How's that sound? He comes up to my room. I give him basically the shirt, the tie, and the sports coat. He goes, he has a fantastic time. And literally on that Monday, he writes an article about me in Inc. magazine. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't ask for it, and he just did. And he took some of the questions that I like to ask people to connect with them, and he wrote this really nice article. As a matter of fact, I had never been in Inc. magazine ever before. I'd been in Forbes and some other, CNN and some other things, but never Inc. magazine, and that's one of my favorite magazines. So, for someone like me, that's a good thing.
I got to tell you, so I listen to you, and I'm a friend of yours, and I follow you, but we're all guilty of falling, at least the guys that don't live it like you do. I'm guilty of slipping back into it. And just yesterday, a friend of mine reached out to me and said, Greg, do you know anyone in the Christian music space? And you came to mind because the other guy came to mind. I used to do business with and was friends with the CEO of the Sony music group of the Christian division. But I haven't talked to him or reached out to him for probably 5 years. So I'm going to try to still introduce my friend who needs this connection and try to make that happen. But when you have a president of Sony Christian Music Group, I should be keeping in touch with that guy, right? So I'm guilty of not doing this, and it's like, I got to get my act together. It's so everybody listening, what he is sharing is so important. And I go back to the end result. The end result is everything in your life gets easier. Like everything in your life gets easier. When you become a giver and not a taker, and you're giving, everything becomes easier. You make more money. You have better relationships. Everything's just your whole. I've seen it case study after case study. So, all right, Larry, that's awesome. So tell us what we got to do to really make it before our event.
All right, so here's what I want everyone to do. Here are the questions that I want them to ask, okay? And then I want them to follow this simple strategy, and I want them to either, hit you guys up on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, because I want to hear the results, and obviously coming at the conference, I'll get a chance to hear it in person, okay? So number one, when I'm on the phone with someone or in person or whatever, I like to ask the following questions. What do they like to do for fun? What are they most passionate about in life? What is their favorite charity or cause, and why? By the way, the why is probably more important than whatever the heck they tell you, okay? I literally, a year ago, was at either Memorial Day or Labor Day, I think it was. I can't remember, but I was at a party, and I bumped into Robert Shapiro, the founder of LegalZoom. He was the O.J. Simpson attorney. And I asked him what his favorite charity and cause was and why. He goes, well, I like to really help the kids with alcohol and drug awareness. And so I was just curious, so I said, why? And he goes, well, my son died of an overdose at 25 years old. I was like, oh, my God, wow. But had I not asked that question, I would have known that. And last year I brought an entire table of people to his charity event. This year I'm going to probably bring two or three tables to his charity event. And I reconnected with one of my all-time business heroes at that event, John Paul DiGiulio, the billionaire founder of Patron, and John Paul Mitchell, as a result, because he was just one of the people that happened to be a big supporter of Robert Shapiro. Anyway, going back to some of the other questions. So, what do you do for fun? What their favorite charity and cause is, and why. And then once I have rapport, I like to typically ask the following question. I like to ask, what is their most important project or goal in case I or my network can help them? What is your most important goal or project that you're currently working on in the next 90 to 120 days in case I or my network can help you? Well, here's one thing I know. Every entrepreneur listening, every investment advisor, and every investment banker on this call, I know for a fact has a pretty good network. And whether you can help them today, tomorrow, next week, next month, 5 months from now, by just categorizing all this stuff, it will really make it easier. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to reach out to 3 to 5 people a day. Take me up on my connection challenge. Over the next 30 days, if you went after 3 people a day, this could be in person, it could be over the phone, it could be a webinar, or a live stream just like we're doing. If you could find out and just reach out to your network just to find out what they're up to. And here's the other question I really like asking. What are you most excited about in life right now? What are you most excited about in life right now? They're going to tell you. Sometimes it's personal. Sometimes it's business. And by going out to 3 people a day, over the course of 30 days, you will have reached out to about 90 of your most valuable relationships, okay? And by just categorizing, what their core expertise is, how they can help others in your network, finding out what's relative important to them. These are all simple things that all of you can be doing. And I just want to share something. I did one of these little same webinar things that we're doing right now. I just want to share something that I literally just got back the other day. I'm just going to read it to you if I can find it. Maybe I won't be able to find it. Okay. No biggie. Anyway, this guy that I did was I did a live stream for someone that's an entertainer. Okay, he's a professional juggler, 4-time TED speaker. I should say he's a world champion juggler. He booked a paid speech. I think he gets $25,000 for every speech he gives. He booked 3 podcasts. He got booked in the media 3 or 4 different times, he told me. He reached out to someone he had not talked to in a long time, and those guys had not been talking, and he patched up a relationship. He got invited to be, on a parade, on a float for the 4th of July parade. Those are like 4 or 5 things that I remember off the top of my head. He said he got an extreme amount of thank you notes and other things, but I can't pull it up as quick as I wanted to. But nonetheless, his name is Barry Friedman. You could probably find it out on his Facebook page. But literally, that was just some of the things that he did by applying this connection challenge that I'm sharing with everyone right now.
No, that's absolutely awesome. Great content. Delray, do you got any comments or questions you want to bring up?
But yeah, Larry, I just really want to thank you for that. I think it really humbles all of us. We look at our channels, and I know Greg feels the same way I do, and we have a similar mindset in that we really want to build this culture into our membership base because it is so beneficial to everybody. We're here, both of our organizations, Greg, ours, at FSX. It's really about serving our members, and this just applies in life too, right? It's an attitude of gratitude, as you say, Greg, right? And the ability to really serve the people we work with. And I just appreciate the challenge, and I think it's important for us to really push this down to our organizations just for the benefit of our members and our people listening. So thank you.
They can, anyone that's on this, they can either go to freegiftsfromlarry.com or larrybenet.com, and they should be able to get that free download and some other resources that can help them as they want to go deeper. Obviously, we're going to share more stuff when we're in person. And what I hope for everyone is when they come to your conference, everyone has an attitude of gratitude and that culture of generosity to support each other. And I think great things can happen as a result within your community as well as their own book of business.
No, that's fantastic, Larry. We appreciate it so much. It's awesome content. So here's the question, and it's coming from the crowd. I was going to ask it too, but it's again, what is your most important project, and how could we in our network and everyone on this thing possibly help you?
So 3 things. The number 1 thing they could do is take action on what I just shared. Number 2 is come to your event. Number 3, if there's someone that could benefit from this message, to reach out to us either at larry@larrybenet.com or hit us up on our larrybenet.com website, whether it's a speech, a live stream like this. My goal is to create a bunch of evangelists that are getting amazing results in their business, and I want to just change the way business owners and entrepreneurs and investment advisors think about business. Instead of it always being about themselves, it should always be about that servant mentality, that make a difference mentality, that give back mentality. And I want to get as many success stories, for our publisher, from our speeches, from our consulting and all the things. And I just know the more people that do these kind of things, the more success that they're going to have. And I am a real big believer, if everyone has this mindset, we would not be having any issues in our economy whatsoever, because everyone would have that abundance mentality, and just amazing things would happen as a result. Not only here in the United States, but around the world.
Yeah, tremendous. Absolutely.
Well, we love it. So we're at the end of our thing today. So I want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will get this replay and probably clean it up a little bit from those audio problems that we had. We want to see you at the Angel Money Marketing Live and the FSX event August 1st through the 4th in Dallas, Texas. I'll put a link in the it'll be underneath this video, obviously, and I'll put a link in the chat box here that you guys can go check it out. We have an amazing lineup of people just like Larry. Everyone has a skill set and expertise. They all are givers, and they all have a heart and a vision to help entrepreneurs succeed and perpetuate free enterprise and capitalism, which makes this world go round, but doing it with a spirit of cooperation and with a spirit of giving. So Larry, I want to say thank you very much for being with us today. We appreciate your wisdom is awesome. I'm going to implement more of it myself. I'm going to go in. I'm going to create a document for my team. I'm sitting here taking notes. I'm like, okay, I'm going to create a document for my team. We're going to have a team meeting, and everybody's going to be doing this because it's just so crucial to moving forward, and it needs to be habitual. It needs to be a habit that you put into your schedule, that you make work, and when you put these habits into place, that you're guaranteed success. A friend that I met actually before Larry, but Larry actually personally introduced me to him, is Darren Hardy, the publisher of Success Magazine. He has a great book called The Compound Effect, and I have my own little saying, small things done consistently over long periods of time guarantee success, and this is a habit you need to put into your repertoire of lifestyles. So Larry, thank you very much. We appreciate it, and we'll see you in Dallas.
Hey, Greg?
Yeah.
I just want to do one thing that would be a gift. If anyone registers for your conference as a result of this live stream, I want you to let me know who they are, and we'll, I normally get $30,000 for a day of consulting. I will do some free consulting for someone that you guys picked that registered as a result for your thing.
Wow, thank you, Larry.
And I'm happy to do that. And anything else I could do to support. And here's one other thing that I'm a big believer in. I'm literally in the process. I'm about to post on my own Facebook. I want to do a social experiment, providing just so much value out into the marketplace that it comes back. If someone registers for your conference and they have an investment bank, or they oversee financial advisors, or they work with a group or large groups of entrepreneurs, but they have to sign up for your program, I'm willing to do what I would normally charge a lot of money for free as a gift, just like we just did here, a live stream to one company. So I'm willing to do one free consult at your program. I'm also willing to do one live stream for a corporation as long as they're registering for your program.
Wow.
Very cool.
Very
great.
We
appreciate that. That's what it's all about, right, Del Rey?
Yeah, Larry. Well, we appreciate that, and somebody's going to get a lot of value out of that. We'll certainly be back in touch with you on that. Somebody's going to take advantage of that for sure.
Okay, so we'll wrap it up. This is Greg Ryder saying, do what we do. Wake up every day with an attitude of gratitude. Tell somebody you love them. I promise you'll have a better day. We'll see you in Dallas. And until next Wednesday, Do what Larry said. 3 people a day. Reach out to them. No agenda. Ask them how you can help them. Ask them what's important in their lives. Ask them what's going on and do something to help them and be a giver. 3 people a day for the next 30 days and watch what happens. This is Greg Greder signing off. Have a fantastic day, everybody.